This week in APD News, we want to celebrate the promotion of 3 new sergeants and a lieutenant that occurred on Friday, February 15th. Please welcome Lieutenant Cable Johnson, Sergeants Jason Rash, Ray Mullican, and Jakesha Jones. From all of us here at APD, we look forward to working with these distinguished individuals in their new roles. In other news, if you have an outstanding traffic ticket that has went into warrant status, we recommend you take care of it as soon as possible. Please listen to Interim Police Chief Will Johnson as he talks about the statewide warrant roundup that starts March 2nd and goes through March 10th.
If you have an outstanding warrant in the City of Arlington, this message is for you.
During the City of Arlington warrant roundup, outstanding citations could result in your arrest. Not paying those citations could also impact your ability to renew your driver's license. You need to take care of those outstanding citations, and this is the best time to come in. The court is willing to work with you to streamline this process, so come into the court and find out what your options are. It's your responsibility. Failure to act will have consequences.
Take care of your citation at the Municipal Court Building on 101 South Mesquite Street.
We are now ready to roll out a new way for you to communicate directly with us. What is that way, you might ask? Live chat. We are the first agency in Texas to provide a capability to chat with a police officer 24 hours a day. All you need to do to get started is to go to our website, www.arlingtonpd.org, and click Start Chat to begin talking with us. This is just another way for you to be able to communicate with your department and get questions answered from the privacy of your own home. We want to stress, however, that this is not a substitute to calling 911 in the event of an emergency. Hello everyone, I'm Sergeant Christopher Cook.
And I'm Officer Gigi McDonnell.
I'm currently assigned as the supervisor over the media office. You know, a lot of times we deal with traditional media, but a large part of our duties deal with connecting with you through our social media.
That's correct. Well, I am the social media coordinator with the media office, and my duties is basically updating all of our social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Nixle. It's my pleasure to put out all the great things that our officers do on a day-to-day basis with lots of pictures. That way our community can feel engaged to our department. You know, the one thing that is really fun that we do on Twitter, and it is called a tweetalong. You might have heard the word tweetalong, but you don't really know exactly what it is. Sergeant Cook, can you tell us a little bit about what a tweetalong is and how we started to do the tweetalongs on Twitter?
You know, back in December of 2011, our current police chief decided that he wanted to place some emphasis on our enforcement efforts related to intoxicated drivers. So we thought, what a better way than to connect directly with residents through Twitter. We had attended a conference in Dallas called the Smile Conference. You'll learn more about that in a moment. During this conference, we learned that some agencies up north and in the Canadian provinces were actually sending out police information over Twitter.
So how many followers did we gain at just that one tweetalong?
You know, leading up to the announcement when we said the police chief was going to conduct this tweetalong, we gained over 800 to 1,000 followers over a one-week period. It was very, very awesome to see the feedback, not only from the Arlington area, but across the nation. We had people from overseas actually commenting and following us to see what this was going to be like, because to our knowledge, at that time, no police chief had actually conducted a tweetalong. We were one of the first agencies in the nation to do something like that.
So we did the DWI one, and then we started going on these other tweetalongs. What exactly did we do? Did we ride along with another officer? Did we ride along together? Or what? How did the DWI tweetalong transform into what we're doing today?
Well, you know, I think it's important that as agencies look to increase their presence in the social media realm, they need to do what works best for them. And so we started experimenting with some different ideas. Shortly after the DWI Tweetalong with Chief Bowman, we obviously saw what a success and what kind of value that brings to our community. And so we decided that we want to continue with other tweetalongs. We first started delving into assigning you into the patrol realm. You know, initially, after we did the DWI tweetalong with the chief and after you started riding out with patrol, we learned very quickly that why not utilize us in that role to where we could actually go out, grab a police car, and then respond to the various calls for service that come up. We also learn not to just concentrate or focus on one shift. You know, when we first started doing them, we really were concentrating on day shift hours, but we really found a niche with our followers, wouldn't you say, in the evening and midnight hours. Kind of talk about some of the feedback that you receive when you're doing these tweet-alongs.
Well, we've been doing a lot of the evening hours into the early morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it seems like there's a lot of activity going on. For example, we'll be driving, and my sergeant will be driving, and of course I'm the one who's tweeting all the information out from the passenger side of the vehicle. And most of the time as we're driving, I am actually answering to our followers. They usually have lots of questions about the call that we were on, or they just want to give some positive feedback about what we're doing. I answer everything that they post on our Twitter feed in a timely fashion, so that way we keep that two-way communication engage with them. And I think they appreciate it, and I also appreciate having those type of conversations with them. I don't see them face to face, but we have that connection by doing Twitter and by tweeting back and forth. You know,
that's an excellent analysis, because, you know, some would say, why in the world would you want to do a tweet-along anyway? Why try to connect in that forum? And I would offer up to those people that would say that there is a large segment of our community that gets their information on social media. And Twitter just happens to be one of those forums. You know, Twitter is a microblogging service. However, we're able to push instantaneous information out very quickly. We've also found a lot of success that people love pictures and they love videos, wouldn't you say?
I would say that. That's 100% correct. I mean, if we put a tweet out, we like to attach a photo or some type of video to give our followers that visual of exactly what we're on and what we are doing and the officers are doing. It kind of gives that type of connection that they feel like they're a part of what we are doing and experiencing at that time. Now, has other agencies actually reached out to us about the work that we've done with the tweet-along or any type of national publicity?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. You know, we've been very fortunate where not only the national media, such as the Associated Press and CNN and Fox News, but we've also had some international attention from the Japanese news network. We started receiving some inquiries, I guess, approximately a year ago when they started noticing this mass following when we have these tweet-alongs. And what an interesting concept in their eyes, because, you know, I think the public demands a certain level of transparency within local government, especially in law enforcement operations. And so by us being able to utilize the tweet-alongs and allow people to see the photos of officers working in the field, to see videos of incidents that are being worked by officers, it reduces those barriers and it increases the agency's transparency. And so the Japanese news network came out. They actually rode out with us. You'll see some of the B-roll footage here that we're rolling now.
So even if you're having a laugh, that you actually get to feel lonely. Yeah, because even while we're sitting here at lunch, people are asking, you're eating hibachi, go for barbecue. Somebody said they passed us on the road. So we want to make sure we keep our followers engaged.
Bad guys know that our citizens can connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. So it's a deterrent to our criminal element.
ソーシャルメディアで市民とつながり、捜査にも役立てようというアメリカの警察。
So we got that publicity from the Japanese media. It went international, and they put a little B-roll together about the footage from our agency and some other agencies across the country that are doing that. Did we receive any type of awards for the tweet-along concept?
Yeah, you know, what a privilege and an honor it was to be selected by the Center for Digital Government for the most innovative use of social media. We were actually able to drive down to Austin and accept the award on behalf of all of the citizens here in Arlington, Texas, and they should be very proud of the accomplishments, you know, of their local police department for being really in the forefront of social media innovation when it comes to all the platforms that we're currently on. And the tweet-alongs were just one avenue for us to connect directly with residents. You know, let's face it, we know that the public likes to know what their police officers are doing. And I think there's a lot of misinformation sometimes about what do officers actually do? What types of calls do they respond to? A lot of people are fascinated by the different law enforcement programming that is on the national networks and the cable networks. And so we're able to really show them firsthand what Arlington, Texas is all about and really put Arlington on the roadmap. And so we're very grateful for not only the award and recognition that we received from the Center for Digital Government, but also from the other international and national news organizations that have covered Arlington and came out to see really what we're all about. You know, Gigi, I think it's important to really tell our followers about the joint tweet-alongs. And what I mean by joint is by partnering with other agencies, not only here in the Metroplex, but across the country. Kind of tell our followers what a joint tweet-along is and really the process behind it.
Well, Sarge, we have done 4 joint tweet-alongs with other agencies. We have worked with Baltimore, Tampa, Fort Worth, and Las Vegas Metro. What we do is we decide on what date works best for each agency and also what time. We actually have the tweet-along going on simultaneously with the other agency, and I monitor what they're doing. So if they're on a call and the outcome of the call they tweet out, I will then retweet it, so that way our followers can follow along to see what their agency from the other police department is doing at the same time that we are doing it. So it kind of gives them a different feel of, oh, this is what's going on in Baltimore and this is what's going on in Texas at the same time.
You know, that's an interesting point that you bring up. You know, why should someone care about what's going on in Las Vegas, or why should someone care about what's going on in Baltimore? It's not so much that you should care about what's going on. It's really fascinating to see the difference in law enforcement styles, the different type of calls that each agency responds to. And it really shows the networking that can occur across all these jurisdictional boundaries. Really, on social media, we know there are no boundaries. We have followers in Spain, we have followers in Great Britain, we have followers in California, we have followers in Maine. Social media really allows law enforcement and citizens to connect no matter where your computer or where your smartphone is located. And so it's really fascinating to be able to participate and to partner with like Fort Worth, Texas, and to partner with Las Vegas Metro, and to partner with Tampa, Florida, and to partner with Baltimore, Maryland. It's been a really, really fun ride, and I know that we will continue to amaze the public as we come up with new, innovative ideas. You know, just recently we've added the video components, and I really am excited about that, because while pictures are great, while tweets are great, it's really, really neat and informative for us to be able to film something really short in the field and really talk to our followers about how easy that is for us and how we're able to just do that on our smartphone device.
Well, we have iPhones, and we take the video footage from by using our iPhone, and then there's an app that we use to actually piece together the segment that we want to air.
We want to thank everyone for tuning in today. You can always follow the Arlington Police Department on Twitter by going to @ArlingtonPD.
And when we do a tweet-along, you can follow us on Twitter by using the hashtag tweetalong.